Welcome to Chattanooga. It's the first trip here for the UConn women, the #1 team in the nation, taking on a team that's top nationally ranked opponents here on their home floor before. From McKenzie Arena on the campus of the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga, we welcome you to UConn basketball on SNY. The undefeated Huskies making their first trip here to the home of the Mocs to take on UTC. UConn women's basketball on SNY is brought to you by UConn Health, breakthrough medicine here for you. By Town Fair Tire, every brand at the guaranteed lowest price. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire, nobody. And by Nissan, proud supporter of college athletics. Shop ChooseNissan.com, innovation that excites. On Saturday, the Huskies extended their winning streak to 40 games. It's the fourth longest in school history. They go for number 41 on the one-year anniversary of their last loss on the road at Stanford. And Brianna Stewart is in mid-season form. She is now the two-time American Athletic Conference Player of the Week, picking up the latest award after another tremendous performance. She made her first 9 shots, finished with 25 points for the second game in a row, and paced UConn in their 88-46 romp over Nebraska Saturday afternoon at the XL Center. Stewie and the Huskies set to take on the Mocs here on a Monday night, and it's great to have you with us. Alongside Megan Como, I'm Eric Freed. Stewart has been very impressive, but you have your eye on what UConn supporting cast is doing, and the bench played really well in that last game.
Yeah, against Nebraska, the bench had 40 points, and they're going to need production like that coming off the bench. Now, Katie Lou Samuelson had been 1 of 9 for three-point range coming into the game, knocked down 2 of 4, also had 3 assists. There to her classmate Nafisa Collier, who has had a very strong early freshman campaign. But perhaps the best news was that Sanaya Chong, who had been slowed by an injury and missed the first month or so of practice, had 10 points and played exceptionally well.
And what is her role on this team going forward? She can't just be a supporting player. She has to be a key piece.
Absolutely. She's a junior now, and they're going to need her. This could be a really good stepping stone for her to become a leader in her own way. I think 6-man off the bench changed the complexion of the game. She's got great speed. Offensive consistency is the key, and she's got to be a consistent force defensively for them as well.
And the Huskies may be getting one other piece off the bench here today. Natalie Butler is expected to make her UConn debut here tonight at the home of the Mocs. Here in this building last year, Chattanooga knocked off Stanford, knocked off Tennessee. They'll see what they can do against Stewart, Tuck, Kia Nurse, and the Huskies. The tip is next. UConn women's basketball on SNY, brought to you by Bob's Discount Furniture, proud to be the official furniture store of the UConn Huskies. By Toyota, let's go places. And by DeGiorgi Roofing and Siding, our family serving your family since 1933. All aboard the Ice Bus this season, hockey fans. UConn hockey is back in Hartford, and tickets are on sale now. For Flex Pack, single game, or group ticket information, visit UConnTickets.com today. I must say, UConn is in a hostile arena here this evening. A Monday evening, and the Chattanooga fans have turned out. There's a good look at UConn huddling up before getting ready to take on the Mocs. And we showed you what Brianna Stewart does so well, scoring and everything on the court, but she also keeps this team very loose. She is really emerging as a vocal leader on this team as well.
Well, this team has such a great personality, and Brianna Stewart is clearly one of the reasons why this is her team, and she's going to do things her way this senior year.
And that includes scoring 20 points a game, if that's what it takes, and she's done that in back-to-back games. Stewart, part of the starting 5, presented by Subaru. Brianna averaging 24.7 points a game. Mariah Jefferson, Kia Nurse, Gabby Williams, Morgan Tuck, rounding out the starting 5 for UConn. For the Chattanooga Mocs, Alicia Payne is a senior out of Memphis. Jasmine Joyner is their leading scorer at better than 13 points a game. Queen Alford, Kiana Gilbert, Ariana Gilbert's sisters, part of the starting five for Chattanooga. Of course, this game comes together because Gino Auriemma and Jim Foster go way back, a friendship that spans more than 40 years because Jim Foster hired a young guy who knew nothing about coaching back in the day.
He knew how to stock shelves in a grocery store.
Gino did.
Yes, Jim gave Gino his first job, and these two guys and their families have been friends since they were in their 20s. So we can do the math. It's been many decades.
If you wonder why this game, a trip to Chattanooga, Tennessee, ends up on Gino Auriemma's schedule, it's because of the friendship with Jim Foster.
Absolutely. And you know, Foster, as good as Gino's career has been, Foster's, you know, he's brought 4 different schools to the NCAA tournament. I mean, he's had a phenomenal career in and of himself, and he's building up this program here, this in his 3rd year.
Eric Bruton, Wesley Dean, and Meadow Overstreet are officiating crew. The opening tip is knocked out of bounds, and it will be Chattanooga basketball. I think I got an anniversary wrong just a couple of minutes ago. I learned a long time ago there's only one anniversary I have committed to memory. I get right all the time. That's my wedding anniversary. Anniversaries of losses in games I'm not so good at, but UConn looks for number 41 in a row here today against Chattanooga. Today's not May 27th, is it? That's my wedding anniversary.
No, you're good.
Okay, good. That's the only.
Although it is raining here, so it feels like May. Nice pass.
Feet on the back cut. Gabby Williams, though, with that speed, got a hand in there, and there is Stewart on the loose ball to Mariah Jefferson, to Kia Nurse. Kia, an early look at 3 is no good. Batted out of bounds by Chattanooga. It'll be Connecticut basketball.
On the press, that skip pass, you know, on the run. Such a dangerous pass. Nurse just couldn't knock it in.
Tricky pass for Morgan Tuck to handle. Gabby Williams finds a cutting Brianna Stewart for the game's first 2.
Nice curl cut there by Stewart. Nice job reading the defense.
Payne hands off to Kiana Gilbert. Cutting to the basket, putting it in is Jasmine Joyner, coming off a career-high 31 points in the win last time out against UT Martin. That was a 61-46 final.
Boy, can she play.
Stewart on the post-up. Not guardable.
It's just impossible. And Gilbert's only 5'11", who was guarding her on that possession.
Up top to Queen Alford. Alford transferred from Jacksonville in her first season playing for the Mocs after sitting out last year. Joyner, 7 to shoot. Driving the baseline and a good finish by Queen Alford.
Great quick first step by Alford, and the nice kiss off the glass to finish.
Redshirt junior averaging 6 points a game. That's good for 3rd on the team. Gabby Williams. Took the more contact, tried to hand it off to Brianna Stewart. Turnover, UConn. Let's take you back to the movement. Away from the basketball by Brianna Stewart.
That was great read by Stewart, knowing that her defender got hung up on that screen, so cut back door. Even harder for the defense to recover.
Three-pointer on the way, rebounded by Williams. And a traveling violation. A couple of early turnovers here for the Huskies.
That'll keep this raucous crowd into it. Love the energy in here.
It has served the Mocs well in the last couple of years, playing here on their home floor. They beat 4th-ranked Tennessee last year, then 7th-ranked Stanford just 3 weeks after that. And they lead number 1 UConn here in the first quarter. Ariana Gilbert's first 2.
She only played 8 games last year, Gilbert. Hurt her knee. Looked solid early.
Mariah Jefferson returns it to Stewart. She has all 6 for UConn.
I just love Stewart's patience in that low post. Knows what she wants to do, feels where the defense is, and calmly proceeds.
10 of 11 from the field last time out against Nebraska. 10 to shoot. Alford defended by Williams. Kia Nurse to the basket for 2. First 2 for Kia, averaging under 10 points a game. Scored just 3 points in 20 minutes against Nebraska. 1 of 6 from the field, 0 for 3 outside the three-point line. You just get the sense Kia trying to find her game a little bit on the offensive end here in the early going of the season.
But what I love about these kids, they don't get too caught up. I mean, she still plays defense. She doesn't put her head down and feel sorry for herself.
Mariah Jefferson with the steal and the score. First points for Mariah. 7th steal this season for Jefferson. Turnover by Chattanooga. And you talk about the quickness, watch it right here, Meg.
Well, you know, you got to get the ball off the floor on the pass. What, did it hit the floor 2 times? The entire length of the court? That's how quickly they turn defense into offense.
Looking for Nurse. Now to Gabby Williams. Williams trying to create something, has it knocked away. Shot clock does not reset. Tuck looks up at it, has to make something happen here, and she does. But she can't score. And I don't know if I've ever seen it get wedged up in that fashion after rolling around. And it helps to have a 6'4" player with a 7-foot wingspan to get the ball down so we can keep playing. That will get us to our first media timeout. It comes with 5 minutes exactly to go in the first quarter. Another strong start for Brianna Stewart. She has 6 of UConn's 10. 6-0 run for the Huskies to go up by 4. Didn't take very long, but during this timeout, they have been playing Chattanooga Choo Choo, made famous by Glenn Miller and his orchestra. It's 10-6 here in Chattanooga. UConn on top of Jim Foster's team. Foster, of course, at St. Joseph's, at Vanderbilt, at Ohio State. This is the 7th time Auriemma and Foster have gone head-to-head, but the first time since 2010 at the Maggie Dixon Classic. The 2 teams will meet in Connecticut next year. And Foster's had great success, of course, taking 4 teams to the NCAA tournament. He's the only coach to do so. Yeah,
men or women. He's got almost 850 wins. When he got this job a couple of years ago, he then got inducted into the Women's Hall of Fame.
Morgan Tuck's 3 is short, and the rebound for Chattanooga. Thrown out of bounds by Chattanooga. Turnover number 4 on the Mocs. They come in averaging 17 turnovers a game. Chattanooga gave Tennessee a run this year, but fell to the Vols. And traveling violation on Nurse. 3 turnovers for UConn.
And to put it mildly, she's confused with that call.
Substitution, here comes Defisa Collier into the game for Gabby Williams. So we get our first look at the UConn bench.
Yeah, I would imagine depending on the lineup or the opposition, it would be either Collier or Chong.
Alford, Collier got a hand in there. 7 to shoot. Mocs have to force one up to beat the shot clock. And Kiana Gilbert gets it to go. Her first points.
Great shot by Gilbert.
Jefferson turned it over. She threw it to where Tuck was, and the crowd starts to make a little bit more noise here at McKenzie Arena.
Well, I thought really good defense, but I love the poise of Gilbert, knowing that the shot clock was going down. Step by to not get blocked and drained it.
Alicia Payne. Joyner. Again, the shot clock comes down. And look for the back cut, but it's a turnover picked up by Collier. Here comes the freshman, center of the floor to Stewart. Stewart gets knocked down and will go to the free throw line. Actually kept her balance. I thought for sure she was going to go down, but a little bit more athletic than I am, and she can keep her balance.
Really? It was impressive while she got tripped up. And she at least got the ball up there on the rim. And a stern look over there from Gino William and not happy with his gloves performance. But this is a good example of what it's like to be Connecticut. You go on the road, and every team you play, it's like their national championship. They've got a larger crowd tonight than they've had for any other game. The crowd is into it. The students are great. Got their bodies painted, the dance team, the band, everybody's so loud, and they're playing great basketball. Foster's got this team ready.
Stewart 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Last touch by Collier. Huskies bring the pressure into the backcourt here to try to speed things up, and Jefferson got a hand on it.
Wow.
Great save to Nurse, who walked.
She's like, that works in Canada.
She doesn't have the international officiating crew here today, apparently.
No, Leslie Dean didn't agree. It was just that little step-through move. Maybe she shuffled her foot, because the step-through move works here. She must have shuffled her feet.
Jefferson almost took it away. On the back cut. Had to speed things up getting to the basket with the long arms of Brianna Stewart closing in. Stewart to Tuck. Tuck. Her first 2, averaging 13 points a game and 9 points, 5 assists in the win against Nebraska. And there's Mariah getting her hands in there again, but it will be Chattanooga ball.
And with Tuck with a little baby hook over Jasmine Joyner, who Joyner leads the nation in block shots. And Tuck is so good at getting her shot off. That little baby hook can't be blocked.
Joyner now with 34 blocks this season. Her block earlier tonight gave her 222 in her career. That's now #1 all time. She was tied with Alex Anderson coming in. She had 132 blocks last year. Stewart knocked it out of play. I think certainly Chattanooga's very content keeping this score as controlled as possible. They're averaging 56 points a game, holding their opponents to 52 points a game. So we've seen the shot clock come down inside of 10, inside of 5 a couple of times for the Mocs.
Well, you know, they've been decimated by injuries a bit, Chattanooga, so they don't want this to be a track meet.
Moses Johnson into the game, off the mark, and UConn will take over. Chelsea Shumpert, one of their best players, played in 3 games, had a knee injury at the end of the Indiana game, season ending. She's a 3-year starter, averaged 11 points a game last year, so Jim Foster said they're trying to figure out how to play without her, and I think UConn's trying to figure out how to play without being whistled for a travel.
And Gino's going, what is that?
Brianna Stewart was protesting as well, pointing down to her pivot foot, saying that didn't move.
6 turnovers early for UConn, half of them travels.
.140 to go in the first. Payne, again, 6 to shoot. Good box out by Collier to move Joyner off the spot. Jefferson accelerates through and finishes with the left hand. We've seen her do it so many times. Mariah, she's shooting 69%, and here she is hopping into our broadcast position. Couldn't hold on to it. 69% from the field, Meg.
See, it's what I love about Jefferson. She knows when and when not to. There, she noticed no one was stopping the ball, and she just needs a sliver of space to get through. And then forget about it. You know, she's not resting on her laurels after that bucket. Nearly comes up with a steal. She's always ready.
She had the left-handed layup for the finish. She's shooting 82% on her shots inside the three-point line. Tough pass to handle there, but the Mocs stick with it. And they make something out of nothing with the bank shot from Joyner for 3.
Now, last year, Joyner only made 1 3 for the season. She's already got 9 this year. So she worked quite a bit in the offseason. Nice take by Collier.
Collier to the basket, her first 2. And hustling on the other end, but a little bit too much here, and she's going to get whistled for the foul with 38.4 to go. That would be the first team foul on UConn. Foul-free first quarter, another turnover-free quarter.
Gino was trying to lobby Meadow Overstreet. Like, come on, you're calling a walk every time? She can't walk every time she touches the ball.
Katie Lou Samuelson into the game for UConn as Morgan Tuck checks out. Jefferson's getting her hand in on just about every pass on the moment. There's another one. She knocks it away, takes off in a fly pattern, and gets fouled on the other end by Kiana Gilbert. We saw Mariah Jefferson with a strong acceleration to the basket moments ago and finished with the left hand. How about this from the freshman?
Yeah, I mean, Collier realized the 6'2" joiner trying to guard her, 25 feet from the basket, and the freshman had the presence of mind to say, nope, I can go right by her.
Mariah has not been getting to the line here in the early going. That's just her second free throw attempt this season. 7 points, 5 assists, 2 turnovers in the win against Nebraska. She has 5 here in the first quarter and adds to it. Shot clock turned off. UConn will look for another turnover here. Chattanooga with 7 first quarter turnovers. Payne. Stewart on the switch. Payne with the game clock winding down, made the little pass inside, and Alford just couldn't put it in. And that is the end of the first quarter. Huskies go on a run to close out the quarter to stretch their lead out to 8 after 1. Great atmosphere here in Chattanooga at McKenzie Arena, where the Mocs have won 17 games in a row, but they are down to number 1 UConn after 1. 8-point game after 1. Been a little excitement in this building. The excitement level is about to pick up because it's time for Kareth Burke, whose report is brought to you by Sam Adams. Hello, Kareth.
Hi, Eric. I had a chance to check in with Katie Lou Samuelson, the freshman, who had a really great game against Nebraska. 14 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. Also had a couple of three-pointers, and Katie Lou said that really helped take her out of a little shooting slump that she was feeling. She also shared that Gino Auriemma talked to the reserves and explained he expects more when they come into the game. So Katie Lou took that message, and she said she's been working on being a better defender. She wants to add rebounds, and she's been watching Brianna Stewart. She noticed how Stewie never stops moving, either working to create a shot for herself or her teammates. So she wants to be just like Stewie and work in those avenues too. Eric?
Kara, thanks very much. It was a great finish for Samuelson, going 5 of her last 7. As you can just sense that confidence picking up as that Nebraska game went on. She's on the floor now. Sanaya Chung has come in to start the second quarter for top-ranked UConn.
And that's the question with Sanaya. She's got to be able to keep people in front of her.
Challenge shot from Joyner. And official's going to stop play. I think they reset the shot clock, and it should not have been reset. They're going to go back to the play-by-play and see how much time should be up there. Take a look at Jim Foster. In the Southern Conference now, Foster's team's 32-0 in his first 2 years. So much like Gino Auriemma's teams in the American, doing pretty well against conference competition. Is SoCon, that's Furman, Samford, Mercer, East Tennessee, UNC Greensboro. They put 2, make it 3 on the shot clock, and as it was winding down, Chattanooga had to hoist up a shot, rebounded by the Huskies. All 8 of UConn's field goals came in the paint in the first quarter. And then Katie Lou Samuelson.
What I liked about that play, Katie Lou was in the post, in that low block, trying to post up and then flared out to the 3. Don't just be content to go where your comfort zone is. Try something else and then go back out. Now there she got called for the foul. Look, see, she's posting up inside, and then the defense forgets about her. Nice pass back from Collier. And Katie Lou knocked it in.
So Samuelson knocks down the three, her fourth three-pointer of the year. She made 3 against Nebraska. Kia Nurse back into the game. Brianna Stewart picking up a personal foul, her first. 11-point lead for UConn, trying to improve to 4-0 in the season. Very busy stretch here. They hosted Nebraska on Saturday. They're here in Tennessee today. They will fly up to Chicago tomorrow for a Wednesday game against DePaul. Then come home to take on Notre Dame Saturday.
It's a brutal week.
Gilbert's shot rebounded in the corner by Joyner. Back out for Payne. And the shot clock expired, and the Huskies get another stop.
And as brutal as this week is for UConn, the crowd booing.
Officially to talk it over. Jim Foster protesting that perhaps there should have been a reset.
Oh, he's trying to say it hit the rim. He's like, really, at home I'm going to get this against the #1 team in the country?
Nurse, Collier, Chong, Morgan Tuck, Katie Lou Samuelson, the 5 on the floor for UConn.
You notice how Foster just sort of took that from Wesley Dean. You know, he's a Philly guy originally, but he's been down south so long, he's just mellowed out. More than his boy Gino.
Collier, the turn and the score. Her second field goal. Visa averaging 8 a game through her first 3 games of her career. 5 for 5 last time out against Nebraska. 2 for 2 here tonight. Collier comes over to knock it away.
So active on both ends of the floor.
Collier tried to get it over to Samuelson, could not. Nurse tried to slow down the break. Chong came hustling back to affect the shot. And the rebound comes out for Nurse. Nurse finds an opening. Thought she drew some contact.
She was waiting for the contact.
Didn't get it.
How about the play of Sanaya Chong there? The nice defense by Chattanooga. And look at Sanaya Chong come out of nowhere just to distract and alter that shot.
$7:15 to go, second quarter here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Home of the Mocs. They bring a 5-2 record into this matchup with top-ranked UConn. Payne, pull up, blocked by Collier.
I like the patience Chattanooga uses within their offense. Good spacing.
Collier blocked by the nation's leading shot blocker, Jasmine Joyner.
Yeah, Collier, you have to learn. You've got to go by Joyner. You cannot shoot over her.
Joyner can't get it. The follow-up is good from Ariana Gilbert. She has 4. Meg mentioned her season-ending injury last year, game number 8. Awarded a red shirt. This is her 8th game this season. Samuelson has her shot blocked. And the fight for the basketball, last touch by Chattanooga. Brianna Stewart, Mariah Jefferson back into the game. Gino Auriemma almost to midcourt to protest to the officials.
He is fired up. He's trying to say that, and you know what? There was contact there. Yeah, Joyner got it with her left hand, but there was big body contact. Gino has a right to be angry.
Baseline out of bounds play. Morgan Tuck gets the layup, the feed from Stewart. 4 for Morgan, Kia Nurse and Nafisa Collier going to the bench. Mariah Jefferson, Sanaya Chong, Stewart, Samuelson, Tuck the 5 right now for UConn. Sanaya Chong there defensively, picked up by Samuelson. The lead 13 for UConn. The touch pass out of Sanaya Chong's reach, but she tiptoes on the baseline to keep it in play. Open 3 is good for Mariah Jefferson.
A dagger there from Jefferson.
Timeout. Chattanooga. Good hustle plays we've seen today from Sanaya Chung. That hustle play you saw a moment ago when she came back on defense and now keeping the ball in play. Ends up into the hands of Mariah Jefferson.
Look, she kept it alive, barely. And then Mariah Jefferson knocks it down. Huskies up 16.
UConn has outscored Chattanooga 10-2 here in the second quarter to take a 29-13 lead. Let's take a look at Como's Court Vision, brought to you by Yale New Haven Health. Take it away, Meg.
Well, they say defense wins championships. Look at the way UConn plays defense. They will switch if need be. Good ball pressure on the ball. Now you see, look at this. Morgan Tuck comes over to help. Look at the rotation. Kia Nurse goes up, gets beat, but then Collier ready. Everyone knows where the ball is. They know where the rotations are. They communicate well, switch when need to. Looking really good defensively here tonight, but they're always good defensively, Eric. You know, everyone talks about the number of points that they score, but you and I have seen time and time again, they just destroy teams with their defense.
To Ohio State, Nebraska, and Kansas State, they've given up an average of 53 points a game, holding those three teams to 34% shooting from the field so far and 26% from outside the three-point line. And that was a rushed, affected shot that didn't catch the rim. Payne, the runner, had a good open look at it. And there's an offensive rebound for Joyner. Ansley Chilton into the game, couldn't knock down the three-pointer. Samuelson's shot was off the mark, but there was a whistle, a foul away from the basket. It was called on Ariana Gilbert for Chattanooga.
Yeah, a little too physical inside, trying to stop Brianna Stewart.
Feed into Stewart. Stewart just short with that little jump hook. Jefferson, Chong, Stewart, Samuelson, Tuck, the five on the floor for UConn. Under 5 to go in the second quarter. Gabby Williams will come in next dead ball.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if she came in to give Stewart a blow.
Payne. Rebounded by Jefferson. Has Tuck on her right, Samuelson on her left. Tuck is the one who gets it, but she can't score.
And you got to give credit to Jasmine Joyner, who really did a good job of getting in Tuck's head.
I say good job by Chattanooga to get back and not just give up on UConn's run out. Stewart gets a hand in there. There's the best player in the country getting on the floor, but she couldn't get the loose ball. Payne gets it. Her first points, averaging 5.5 a game. These Chattanooga players, Jim Foster's going to have to use his timeout. You can see right now Payne and Joyner, even though they just came out of a timeout, hands on their hips a little bit. You know, Payne is playing 36 minutes a game. Those starters on the floor a long time. Stay on top of all things UConn with up-to-the-minute Huskies news, game recaps, press conferences, and exclusive interviews on SNYUConn.com, presented by Mercedes-Benz, part of the SNY.TV blog network. Talked about UConn's defense. That's something that Jim Foster takes a lot of pride in with this team. They're holding their opponents to 36% shooting, 26% on threes. As Jefferson makes the first, he says his team's really good at defending the three-point line over the last couple of years. As Samuelson hits the bench, he has one of the 2 UConn three-pointers so far in this game.
A very fundamentally sound team, and the problem for Chattanooga has just been trying to deal with injuries. That's going to be their big issue this year.
11 points now for Mariah Jefferson. Gabby Williams into the game. It's not Stewart who heads out, but Samuelson. And Morgan Tuck gets the steal into the hands of Jefferson. Chong takes it to the basket for 2.
So quick and can change direction on a dime. Unbelievable play there by Sanaya Chong.
Again, Sanaya, we've told you over the last couple of weeks, she was slowed down at the beginning of the season. Only played 3 minutes against Ohio State. dealing with an IT band problem. The minutes have been going up, and she played very well against Nebraska. She kept it going here against Chattanooga. 5 on the shot clock. Grabbed by Brianna Stewart. Inside of 3 to go in the second quarter. UConn on top by 18. Tuck. 2 more for Morgan Tuck. She has 6. Jefferson leading the way with 11.
That's what makes Connecticut so difficult to play against. They have so many different scoring weapons and different ways in which they beat you.
Strong take by Payne, who gives Mariah Jefferson a little taste of her own medicine, little stutter step, and you know, sprint to the basket.
That's right, and Payne was a Southern Conference Defensive Player of the Year last year, but showing little offense, and there Mariah says, wait a minute,
this is
I
got
you.
Stewart gambled for the steal, couldn't get there. Joyner made her pay by knocking down her second three-pointer.
Joyner, I love what that kid has done and expanded her repertoire. Known as a shot blocker, but she's not content with that.
Morgan Tuck, deep 3. Rebound for Gabby Williams. Gabby trying to find her rhythm. Back-to-back double-doubles to start the season. Had 4 points and 5 rebounds in 16 minutes against Nebraska. Open look for 3, it's good. Gilbert has 5.
She had 1 3. She was 1 of 8 coming into this game. You gotta love when teams at home in front of a packed house play well.
14-point lead. Throw it over the top to Stewart, who is grabbed before the shot. That will be the 3rd team foul on Hawks. Here is the drive of the game presented by Chevrolet. Sanaya Chong.
You got to check out Sanaya Chong, the way she changes direction and slides through the defense. Now, she did that in full steam. She was running up the floor. That kid with the ball can change direction and slice through the defense better than just about anybody I've ever seen.
Tuck turns, a little too strong. Chong checks out. Kia Nurse back in. Final minute of the second quarter. Cindy Van Landingham into the game, her 6th appearance this year. Has scored 2 points. She wears number 21, 4 on the shot clock. Payne makes the extra pass. They do get the shot off in time, but it doesn't catch iron. It'll be UConn basketball.
Another possession where UConn is down in their stance for 30 seconds. And that time the shot clock did expire. Impressive defense this first half, Eric.
11th turnover for Chattanooga against his UConn D. Williams back out top to Jefferson. Mariah had her pocket picked. Payne takes a look at the clock. Lost the handle. Gets it back. Game clock down inside of 10.
That should have been a double dribble.
Payne, little head fake to try to get free. Stewart came in to change the shot. Payne went down hard. And she still is under the basket, but seems to be okay. And that is the end of the first half. 37-23, UConn on top of Chattanooga at the end of 20 minutes here at McKenzie Arena. Double figures from Mariah Jefferson, 13 points to lead UConn in scoring. Brianna Stewart with 7 first half points. And let's send it over to Kareth Burke, stated by Regino.
Well, Gino, your 3 starters had a very steady, your 3 seniors had a very steady start to this game. When they're all playing well, how does that help the rest of the team?
Well, I mean, it's difficult to play against a team like this because they want to use the entire shot clock. So they're going to make you play defense for the entire 30 seconds. And it makes it tough because it's hard to get any rhythm on the offensive end. But we got to get Stewie more shots. I thought we started off the game getting her the ball a lot, but she hasn't touched it enough. And I think we got to make some outside shots. I think we're a little too, we're trying to force the ball inside a little too much. But again, defensively, 23 points. That's a pretty good defensive half.
I was going to ask, when the Mocs have some shooters, you like the way the D clamped down?
Yeah. I mean, we made a couple mistakes, you know, where we trapped where we shouldn't have, and they made a couple tough threes. They threw in a couple lucky ones, but you got to expect that. I think we'll be all right.
Thank you very much, Gino. Gino leaving the court with a smile on his face. We've got a good one here. The Mocs crowd really into it. UConn leads right now, 37-23, at a very excited arena for Chattanooga.
UConn women's basketball on SNY is brought to you by your local Mercedes-Benz dealers, by People's United Bank N.A., where our know-how starts with knowing you, and by Greenwich Hospital, a part of Yale New Haven Health. Visit greenwichhospital.org to learn more about the Greenwich Hospital experience. Halftime here at the home of the Mocs. Great crowd. They had a good show here at halftime, and we're ready for the start of the third quarter. 37-23 our score as we get ready. Eric and Meg back with you here courtside. So what jumps out to you from that first half? Brianna Stewart was 3 for 4 from the field in the first quarter, 0 for 1 in the second quarter, and Gino told Kareth Burke, got to get her more touches. Yeah. So I'd expect to see a little bit here out of the shoots in the third quarter.
Yeah, I would think the focus would be to get the ball to Stewart in the lane or, you know, out on the perimeter. She's comfortable with either. I mean, I love the way Stewart moves without the basketball. You trail on this screen, well, she'll make you pay. The nice dish from Gabby Williams. And then get in that low post and finish. There's nobody on Chattanooga's team that can guard her. But Mariah Jefferson, perfect from the floor. 1 for 1 from behind the arc. 4 for 4 from inside the arc. Played very well. She was even 4 for 4 from the free throw line. 4 assists and 4 steals from Mariah. 13 points in 17 minutes. But you got to get Stewart more looks. And they didn't get a whole lot off the bench, only 9 points off the bench.
Stewart will trigger the inbound to start the third quarter. Jefferson, Nurse, Tuck, Williams, and Stewart, the 5 on the floor for UConn. Jefferson has it knocked away. Turnover number 10 for UConn.
That's the second time Mariah Jefferson tried to cut through the lane exactly in that spot. Terrific defense again by Chattanooga.
8 points for Jasmine Joyner to lead Chattanooga in scoring. Queen Alford knocks down the 3. She has 5.
It's important for Chattanooga to come out and get that first bucket here in the second half.
Well, they get a turnover, and then they get a 3-pointer, but now they get Brianna Stewart. The Huskies do, inside for the easy 2. Stewart now 4 for 6 from the field with 9 points.
Well, stating the obvious, that's what UConn should try to do every offensive possession until Chattanooga proves they can stop it.
Joyner can't get the 3. Gabby Williams tracks down the loose ball. Nurse to a cutting Gabby with the finish.
Nice find by Nurse, and good job by Gabby Williams to not give up on the play.
8 different scores now for UConn as Gabby gets her first points of the night. Eight to shoot. Again, Chattanooga bringing that shot clock down. Now down to 2. Payne has to throw it up just as the shot clock expires, but the fight for the loose ball. That fight won by Chattanooga.
And Joyner had to pick Payne up. Payne has spent a lot of time on the floor here tonight.
And a foul called against Gabby Williams, who scored the last UConn hoop.
Well, look at the way she came running in and sneaking in around the backside. Her classmate Kia Nurse did a nice job in finding her. The defense is all looking at the ball. They didn't see Williams enter the picture.
.15 lead for UConn. And Brianna Stewart is whistled for the foul. That will be her second personal.
a sarcastic grin. Little ticky-tack, perhaps. Wow.
Quick shot put up by Chattanooga. They miss it. UConn has it. Kia Nurse is fouled.
Fans are great. They'll approve, of course, the ticky-tack one on the other side. And then here, she got bumped pretty hard. That's a legit call.
The foul is on Queen Alford, number 10. The crowd saw Joyner get all ball, but the foul was on Alford. Kia Nurse now with 3 points.
See, Gino's mellowed out, and he's over there talking to one of the officials, Eric Bruton, and it's a good thing when Bruton runs away laughing. Years ago, he would have been teed up.
Back to a 17-point lead for UConn. Gabby Williams swoops in for the rebound. 7 rebounds now for Williams. She leads UConn in that category. Jefferson to Stewart. Stewart to the free throw line.
And Stewart is mad. She wanted that one back. But that's a good foul by Joyner. At least you're not giving up a three-point play.
So here is Brianna Stewart, coming off her first double-double of the season. She's in the double figures now with 10 points.
See there, Stewart's like, darn, gotta make that.
2 free throws for Stewart. UConn 9 of 10 from the free throw line here this evening. 3 minutes into the third quarter, they lead 45-26 here at McKenzie Arena. Chattanooga with a 17-game home winning streak. Included in that streak, wins over nationally ranked Stanford and Tennessee last year. 5 to shoot. Williams, another rebound, on her way to a double-figure rebounding game.
Oh, she missed her.
Jefferson traveled. Turnover number is going to be a big one for UConn here tonight. That's 5 for Mariah.
It's going too fast, Eric, too fast.
And you know how Mariah really takes a lot of pride in that assist to turnover ratio. She had quite a few turnovers in the opener against Ohio State. Sometimes she's too quick for her own good.
Yeah,
is that
your greatest strength
what it comes
your
down to be?
greatest weakness, right? You have to remember, it's a long season.
Williams picks it up. Kia Nurse, easy pickings on the other end. 6 for Kia, 4 in the second half. And UConn has its largest lead at 21 points. Van Landingham into the game for Chattanooga. Joyner.
Nice cut.
Feed, but unable to finish is Alford.
I mean, it was a great cut, great pump fake, got the defense off their feet, just couldn't finish. Too bad for Alford.
Alford gets a hand in there to get the steal. Another turnover for Jefferson. Alford, instead of taking it to the basket, puts on the brakes and looks for some help.
Smart play, set up offense.
Payne. Back outside Alford. Stewart tries to sell the foul, and the foul is called on Alford.
Wow, Stewart got lucky on that one.
And timeout being called here by Chattanooga. They look gassed. We're going to take this timeout as well. It comes with 5:04 to go in the third quarter. UConn on the defensive end, getting hands in, turning it into easy points on the offensive end. They lead by 21. Here Here's tonight's UConn trivia question presented by Mercedes-Benz. UConn has won 85 in a row against unranked opponents. What was their last loss to an unranked opponent? I do recall being at that game. We'll have the answer for you coming up in a few minutes. Great turnout here at McKenzie Arena, the home of the Mocs, as they welcome in UConn for the first ever meeting between these two programs. And Brianna Stewart and the Huskies keeping Chattanooga to just 26 points halfway through the third quarter.
Impressive defense, for sure. The way UConn has made it very difficult for Chattanooga to really get any kind of flow offensively.
Starting five still out there for UConn. Here's Morgan Tuck. Tuck spinning, and she gets called for an offensive foul.
That's payback for the last offensive foul called on the other end.
Turnover number 13 for UConn.
I didn't think that this was... It's good acting by the defense. I didn't think that was an offensive foul.
Now we're going to start under 5-minute media timeout. Comes with 4:51 to go in the third quarter here in Chattanooga. UConn on top of Chattanooga. Mariah Jefferson has been impressive when you take a look at her shooting numbers. 4 for 4 from the field, 4 for 4 from the free throw line, 13 points. However, there's a number that's going to jump out to her, and that's 6.
Yeah, 6 turnovers when she had 7 coming into the game on the season. Good job by Chattanooga, but some of these walks, just a little careless, just trying to play a little too fast, uncharacteristic of Mariah.
Last year, she had 191 assists and 62 turnovers.
Wow.
So up to date, she has 20 assists and 13 turnovers here in game number 4 this season.
She's got as many today
Oh, Gabby
as
Williams
she's gotten all year.
with the steal and the assist to Kia Nurse. A 12-0 run for top-ranked UConn. And Kia Nurse thought she had a steal. Kia's been protesting some foul calls here today. I think she's been in her right on a couple of them. Here's the steal by Gabby.
There, nice anticipation, showing her phenomenal athleticism. And Kia Nurse there for the easy finish.
First steal for Gabby. She has 8 rebounds, 2 points, 3 assists.
Gabby finds ways to be very involved.
Aim blocked by Stewart. Nurse cut off. 3 Mocs in the backcourt. That means numbers on the other end. And UConn finds Tuck.
That's a textbook fast break.
(51-26), 14-0 run. Van Lanningham, back her up top to Joyner, has not scored in the second half. Stewart has been watching her closely. Joyner, stolen by Nurse, up to Jefferson, and you won't catch her.
Yeah, smart play that time by Gilbert to not even try to go for the steal. Would have been a hard foul.
16 unanswered points for UConn. Knocked away by Tuck. Chattanooga ball.
They get the ball up the floor. Look at that, 1 pass, 2 pass score.
Gabby Williams comes out of the game again. Gabby providing a spark in ways that don't show up in the scoring column, with the rebounding, with the steals, and 3 assists here in this game. Tie up. Collier just into the game with Samuelson. It is Chattanooga possession, 14 to shoot.
Yeah, Gabby Williams finds ways to be involved. She's active. Such a great defender. One of the best athletes that's ever played here.
And that's the thing, too. Such a great athlete that she stands out. You notice her. She gets to places that you don't expect. Van Landingham, the drive to the basket. Her 4th point this season.
Another shot just under the wire.
And UConn wastes no time in answering back after Van Landingham stopped the 16-0 run. Morgan Tuck scores to get into double figures. So Tuck, Stewart, and Jefferson, the 3 in double figures right now for UConn.
Chattanooga has so many similar size players that UConn is switching every time there's a screen or anything set, they switch.
Joyner hasn't had many open looks in the second half. She missed from 3. Samuelson calling for it. She misses everything from 3.
Well, she thought about it, and then she shot it.
That was the first mistake, right?
Yeah, right. Just don't think.
Shooters don't think. Inside of 2 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Payne has played marathon minutes again. She looks pretty exhausted. You will get tired against UConn. They're winding the shot clock down. Stewart with the block shot. And Connecticut will take over. Brianna came into the game with 10 blocks this season to lead the team.
I mean, the way if you're going to try to shoot it, you know, over that 7-foot wingspan, you got to go get at least parallel to her. If you can't get by her, just try to get next to her and create the foul. And what I love about Jim Foster, he called her over and just talked to her. It's a good teaching moment.
Sanaya Chong into the game for UConn. Stewart fighting on the inside against Moses Johnson for position, and Johnson's going to get called for the foul. Johnson thought it was a fair fight against the senior All-American.
Well, let's see. A lot of bumping, a lot of bumping. You know what? If she doesn't have her arms around Stewart's body, it's not a foul. Keep your hands up. Use the back of your upper arm. Use your triceps to kind of feel where she is, but you have the hands on the body, it's a foul.
Stewart can't hit the 3. Chong got in there to keep it alive with Samuelson. Stewart cuts, finishes with the left hand, and she's fouled.
And you saw her say, good pass to Samuelson. Samuelson worked hard to get that offensive rebound. And then with the nice dish to the driving Stewart.
And you watch Stewart always moving without the basketball. She finishes the 3-point play. Stewie will check out with 14 points, 5 of 8 shooting, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 blocks. And just like that, UConn is on top by 30 here in Chattanooga.
And that's how they do it. Slowly. They just play good defense. And then next thing you know, you're down 30.
Payne tries for 3. Van Landingham spiked it out of bounds, but they say it's going to be Chattanooga ball.
And Foster will keep coaching to the last play of this game. His kids are going to get a lot out of this game.
Courtney Ekmark into the game for UConn, her first appearance.
I've been impressed with Chattanooga's patience on offense, the way they've run offense.
Collier with the rebound. Chong calls for it. Waits for the call from the bench. Chong was bumped by Payne.
Payne's like, really? You see how much I have spent on the floor all game? You're going to call me for that? Nickname is Red.
Yeah, Alicia Red Payne with the personal foul. Played really well in that game against Tennessee. 5 assists, 1 turnover. It was almost another win for the Mocs against Tennessee, this time in Knoxville.
And
but they came up short, 59-57.
And Payne is an outstanding student, and I want to point out there are so many kids on this Chattanooga team who are phenomenal students. about she had 4.0s in both semesters last year? One of many, many kids on this team who do exceptionally well in the classroom. Kudos to all of them.
Final seconds of the quarter. Payne with it. Going to have to heave it up, and that is the end of the third quarter. And what an impressive quarter it was for Gino Auriemma's Huskies. They take a 32-point lead into quarter number 4. UConn coming to Chattanooga for the first time to take on Jim Foster and his Mocs. And it has been another clinic put on by the Huskies. Been a good show all around. Fourth quarter coming up. Back here in Chattanooga, Tennessee, as we get ready for the fourth quarter, we may see one of the newest members of the UConn team in this quarter. Maybe not, but for more on that, here is Kareth Burke.
Thanks, Eric. Natalie Butler hurt her left thumb in practice in mid-October. She had a cast on, and then her hand was heavily taped to keep her thumb in a fixed position. So imagine an oven mitt or a lobster claw. So she couldn't grip anything, and that was really impacting what she could do in the weight room. So UConn strength and conditioning coach Amanda Kimball came up with a solution. Resistance bands, lots of them. She can either put those around Natalie's palm, or Natalie can put them around her wrist to keep her upper body strong, to keep her conditioning up for when she does resume play. So Natalie's workouts and recovery from thumb surgery have gone so well. She was back ahead of schedule. Eric?
Well, we'll see if she gets into this game here. Big lead for the Huskies as Gabby Williams back into the game, takes it to the hoop, can't finish. It's always an interesting chemistry experiment at the beginning of the season, but I don't know if this is the week where you're going to get somebody into the mix like Natalie Butler. She could get a couple of minutes here as Collier dishes it off to Chong, who has fouled. You've got a nationally ranked team in DePaul in Chicago on Wednesday and Notre Dame on Saturday.
Absolutely.
So we know what that means.
Here, the nice bounce pass. And look at the way Chong put her body out there to draw that foul from Johnson. Smart move by Chong, so should the ball would at least get up on the rim.
Now, during the timeout before the fourth quarter, we got the updated numbers. Brianna Stewart with 4 blocks here tonight. That puts her into the 300 block club.
Wow.
In her Connecticut career, only the 5th Husky to reach that total.
Pretty elite company.
Stewie watching from the bench, 14 points, 4 rebounds, 4 blocks, 3 assists, 2 steals. I've been told by a reliable source, who's never wrong, that she's 2 blocks away from Tina Charles. Ooh. 4th place on the all-time list. Talk about elite company.
Tina's one of the best all time.
Shot clock violation as Ekmark and Chong with Collier there in support. Get the tie up.
And Gino's got to be really pleased with his team's effort to be up by 30 in the fourth quarter, and your defense is still playing so hard. That's impressive.
Well, there's only one way to play. You got to play the full 40 minutes no matter what the score is. Samuelson couldn't get the scoop, and the rebound for Joyner.
I like that take by Katie Lou. It's okay, it didn't go in.
And another turnover for Chattanooga. Wednesday, UConn men's basketball returns to SNY as the Huskies welcome Sacred Heart to Hartford. Our coverage presented by Samuel Adams begins at 6:30 p.m. and it's only on SNY. Meg and I and our SNY crew here in Chattanooga, we're going to take a little break. We are not going to Chicago, although Meg is, because she's going to go watch the matchup with DePaul, but we will not have that game for you on SNY, nor will we have the Notre Dame game for you. Wednesday's game will be on Fox Sports 1, so we're giving you a heads up so you can find it for Wednesday night. We'd love to bring you the game, but Fox Sports 1 will have that game from DePaul, and then ESPN will have the Saturday game, and they're encouraging fans to come to Gampel wearing white.
Yes, it's
to
a
the
white
game against Notre Dame.
Tough. That's a tough ticket to get. That Notre Dame game. And a tough play to defend was a previous shot by Gabby Williams. I love the baby hook.
That shot too strong. Anna Claire Nobrit is into the game for the first time for Chattanooga, number 5. And we'll throw it back into Gabby. She can't spin this one in, but she earns a trip to the free throw line. So once again, here's what's coming up for Connecticut. Nationally ranked DePaul, nationally ranked Notre Dame, 1 on the road, 1 at home. We're back with you for a very interesting road trip. We will be at Colgate because it's the homecoming game for Breanna Stewart. Now, she's not from that part of New York, but she's close enough. North Syracuse is about an hour away from Hamilton. So it is a sellout up at Colgate. We will be there with our full crew, so we look forward to bringing you a game. It'll be interesting, smaller gym, much smaller venue. It'll be some fun to be up there. And I'm sure Stewie will have pretty big supporting crew in the stands. Five points now for Gabby Williams. Chong, Collier, Ekmark, Samuelson, and Williams, the 5 on the floor right now for UConn. And Gabby Williams called for the foul. DePaul will be an interesting matchup Wednesday night. They beat Colgate by 50 on Friday. They're now 5-1 on the season. And they got 2 transfers from Illinois who became eligible last Wednesday before the Colgate game. Jackie Grant and Amra Coleman. So DePaul is a team that was already pretty good. You are familiar with their work under Doug Bruno.
Absolutely.
And again, it's Jim Foster here today, Doug Bruno, part of Gino's circle of friends. And that will be part of the matchup.
And Doug is such a good coach. Those kids are always fundamentally sound. You know, their only loss, they lost at Baylor this year. They average 87 points a game, and they force about 25 turnovers a game. So it'll be a beauty.
Gabby trying to show off that mid-range game. We haven't had a chance to see that too much. That's one area that she worked on, that mid-range jumper, her free throw shooting. There's Collier jumping in to get the steal, keep it in play. She'll go to the basket for 2.
And Collier just impacts so many different parts of the game. They're stepping in and getting the steal. You know, she's done a great job defensively. She's done a good job rebounding the ball. She's got 8 on the night.
Gabby Williams has this rebound inside of 7 minutes to play.
You know, remember what Gino told Kareth on Saturday after that Nebraska game, getting through this week. By Sunday, this UConn team will be a completely different team as Katie Lou Samuelson scores on an easy layup. This will be a completely different team than they were on Saturday after that Nebraska contest.
Now, you know, we both heard that in the interview with Kareth. Our eyebrows raised a little bit because, okay, well, what will they look like after that Notre Dame game? And what was your interpretation of the message he's sending there as we watch what Collier did just a moment ago?
There you saw Ekmark with the foul. How about that? Nice kick out. And then Gabby Williams, you know, if you try to double off of her, that's what she'll do. And then you come too low, you come around on that low side, the ball gets passed away. That's what you do, you spin and score on an open basket. But, you know, you think about it, you go on the road. Gino knew the team was coming down here, not sure what to expect, but then you go and play a tough DePaul team, and then you fly home right after the game. I mean, it's 3 games in 6 days. That's a lot, and 2 of them being on the road. Then you fly home Wednesday night, get home late. Kids get back to class on Thursday, and then they play Notre Dame on Saturday.
Williams almost got the steal. The 3-pointer won't come down from Noblet. Collier running the floor. Williams getting up on the offensive glass. Another rebound, another putback. Gabby Williams now with 10 rebounds to go along with 9 points.
She just never stops running, Gabby Williams. Never stops working.
72-59, UConn.
You mean 72-29?
29.
You're thinking of the 50 points.
59, that's right. Collier with another rebound.
And let me tell you what, this is a pretty good Chattanooga team. We've seen it time and again, Eric, where UConn just makes teams look worse than they are.
Williams has another double-double. Her 3rd in 4 games. She'll have a chance to add to it when we come back to McKenzie Arena. The sophomore from Sparks, Nevada. Solid bounce back game for Gabby Williams. And the Huskies are rolling. A lot of yellow in this building. There is some blue. And Chattanooga has run into a superior defensive effort by the UConn Huskies. Chattanooga just with 6 second-half points, and it's tough to get second-chance opportunities when Gabby Williams is on the offensive glass. She's on the defensive glass. She's everywhere.
Look where she comes. Now, she's outside that arc, right? The shot goes up. It's on the other side of the rim. Explodes straight up. Now, the defense didn't box out. That's why there's no over-the-back call. There's no contact, but she just explodes. One dribble, boom, right back up. She has explosiveness that you don't often see in women's basketball.
3 offensive rebounds for Williams. UConn is a plus 19 in rebounding margin. She has a double-double, 11 points, 10 rebounds. Also has 4 assists.
Wow. Productive night.
In 22 minutes.
And we were talking about that earlier. Like, she may not score a ton of points, but she does so many other things.
Gabby also working on her free throw shooting in the offseason, as we mentioned a moment ago, 46% last year. She's 2 for 3 tonight. 4 for 6 on the season. Just looks a little bit more comfortable at the free throw line. Katie Lou Samuelson's 3. Oh, another impressive rebound by Gabby Williams.
The human pogo stick.
14 points for Gabby, 11 rebounds. 77-29. Remember at the start of the third quarter, there was a turnover by UConn, then Chattanooga came down and hit a 3. This 3 won't go. Since that three-pointer, they've only scored 3 points. UConn held Ohio State to 56 points, Kansas State to 57 points, Nebraska to 46 points as Tierney Lawler will come in. Gabby Williams will sit down.
Look at that. One-handed spins, finishes with the left. You could see why she was a world-class high jumper. Her ability to elevate is pretty remarkable.
Tierney Lawler into the game. Tries to return it to Collier. Shot block. Collier doesn't give up on it and is rewarded for her effort. 8 points now for Nafisa.
I like Collier's demeanor. She doesn't get rattled. She just plays and plays hard.
Just 10 rebounds now.
She's really active.
4 along with her 8 points, so she is knocking on the door of a double-double. Another miss for Chattanooga. Gonna have to crunch the numbers here. I think they're below 10% from the field in the second half. 2:40 to go. Ekmark to Samuelson. Alicia Payne with the rebound.
Let's not forget, Chattanooga has a lot of kids that play a lot of minutes, and against this kind of pressure defense, they have got to be exhausted. You know, they're getting shots contested that never get contested, certainly not in this fashion in the Southern Conference. Or you just jack up a 3 because you're barely open.
Here is the answer to tonight's trivia question presented by Mercedes-Benz. The last non-conference loss for UConn was St. John's, February 2012.
I remember that game. I was happy for Kim Barnes-Arico, who's now the head coach at Michigan and doing great things there. I think they're undefeated still.
And there's a hoop, much needed hoop. As that will get the Mocs past the 30-point mark. Kenny Gilbert, her first points in the second half. And whistle and a foul called on Payne. UConn down a couple of players here today, not making the trip with Gino Auriemma's traveling party. Dejanay Boykin, who's out with an injury, so she's rehabbing back home in Connecticut. But also, Brianna Polito not with the team. We've been told that she's got a lot of classwork she had to handle.
4 labs.
So you talked about...
I don't think I had 4 labs my entire career.
So we certainly hope Brianna has had just an eye on this game, but
She's
focus on those labs,
sure.
okay?
Absolutely.
Yes, we know what's important.
Well, and if Boykin's not going to play, you know, why travel? Stay and go to class. That makes sense. You know, I'm sure they hate not being with their teammates and they're missed here, but sometimes common sense has to prevail. 3 seconds.
3-second violation, and perhaps too unselfish a play for Collier. She tried to drop it down to Samuelson.
Coach can handle that, being too unselfish.
That 3 won't go. Another rebound for Collier. She adds to her total. 12 rebounds for Collier, 12 rebounds for Gabby Williams. Samuelson off the mark in this game. Now 2 for 9 from the field. Deep 3. Lawler with the rebound.
This place would have erupted if that had gone in.
Big crowd here, one of their biggest. Top 10 in attendance, 6,104.
And they were raucous early. Great energy here.
Ekmark. Let's see if Collier can score for a double-double. Have the chance. And that will do it. Maybe a final hoop here for Chattanooga. Collier with a steal. Play the full 40 minutes when you wear that UConn uniform. As Gino Auriemma and Jim Foster will meet at midcourt. The #1 team in the country beats Chattanooga 79-31 the final. As you mentioned, Meg, Chattanooga, when they get into the Southern Conference, where they've been perfect the last 2 years, another one of these experiences where you're not going to run into Brianna Stewart, the speed of Mariah Jefferson, the tenacity of Kia Nurse on a nightly basis like you did.
Yeah, I love the decision of Jim Foster to schedule this game, and I'm glad Gino brought his team down here. This will only help Chattanooga. They're a very good team. They're better than this score indicates, and I think they'll have another tremendous year in the Southern Conference.
Tonight's player of the game, presented by People's United Bank, is Gabby Williams. 14 points, 6 of 9 from the field. Her 3rd double-double in 4 games this season. Also had 4 assists. Here is Kareth standing by with Gino.
Well, Gino, your team had another game with a healthy field goal shooting percentage. What do you like about the way the offense is running?
Well, I think when you take really good shots, you know, and you share the ball with your teammates, you know, we work really hard at practice to make sure we get a great shot. And sometimes, you know, you have to pass the ball to get a great shot. And I loved our defense today. You know, these guys make it hard on you. They just try to grind you down, you know, and I thought that second half was really, really good defensively, and we got great contributions from a lot of people, so it's a great start to this trip.
Your relationship with Jim Foster is very warm. It goes way back. What's it like playing with him?
I mean, it's hard, obviously. You know, they're missing their point guard, so that makes it difficult, and, you know, we're not an easy team to play against, even when you have your point guard. So I know it's tough on them, but you saw what happened in the first half. I mean, they have the ability to, you know, just keep it going. So it was a great test for us, even though the score, you know, it may not be indicative of that. We had to work hard for this.
And the road trip continues. Thank you, Gino.
Thank you.
Eric, back to you.
That trip will continue in Chicago. UConn will stay in Tennessee tonight. Then they'll fly up to Chicago and take on DePaul on Wednesday. UConn women's basketball on SNY. Brought to you by Connecticut Lighting Centers and Restoration Lighting Gallery Centers. So much more than a lighting store. By Subaru of New England. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. For more information, go to SubaruofNewEngland.com. and by Connecticut Lottery. You can't win if you don't play. Tremendous defensive effort by UConn. They hold Chattanooga to 24% field goal shooting, including 3 of 23 from the field in the second half, en route to a 79-31 win over Chattanooga. Our next women's game on SNY will be December 9th, 7 p.m. as the Huskies travel to upstate New York to take on Colgate. We will talk to you again then. The next men's game on SNY will be this Wednesday against Sacred Heart. Our coverage begins at 6:30 p.m. So for Meg Como, Karen Burke, producer Gerard Guilfoyle, director Dan Barr, and our entire SNY crew, I'm Eric Freed saying so long from Chattanooga, Tennessee. UConn now 4-0.